If you believe any of these three lies about investing, you're probably losing thousands without even realizing it. I used to hear them all the time, and if I had listened, I'd still be broke. Today, I'm breaking down the biggest myths that keep people from ever building real wealth. And before you think, why should I listen to this guy? Let me tell you this. I've been investing for years. I've built multiple portfolios from scratch, and I've seen firsthand what works and what doesn't. I've also shared my journey openly, everything from investing 25 euros a week to now where I sometimes invest over 5,000 euros a week. The point is, I've been on both sides of the equation and I've seen how small, consistent actions can change your financial future. So if you're serious about making your money work for you, stick with me until the end. Because the third myth, it's the one that traps people in financial stagnation for decades. Now, the first big lie is that you need a lot of money to start investing. This is something I constantly hear. People assume you need thousands to even begin, and that investing is only for the rich. But when I first started sharing my journey, I was building a separate portfolio from scratch. I was investing just 25 euros per week, literally, the price of a couple of takeout meals. And people were quick to say it was pointless. They comment, what's the point of investing such a small amount? It won't change anything. But here's the thing, I kept going, my salary increased, my habits stayed the same, and so did my mindset. Investing became sort of second nature. Now there are weeks when I invest over 5,000 euros, and do you know what I hear now? Investing is only for the rich. You're just proof that normal people can't do this. It's funny how the narrative shifts, but the truth doesn't change. I didn't suddenly wake up one day with the ability to invest thousands. I started small, stuck with it, and allowed compounding to do the work. And the takeaway is simple. If you can put aside even, I don't know, a euro a day, 5 euros a day, you can start investing. The difference between someone who builds wealth and someone who doesn't isn't how much money they have right now. It's whether or not they take action. The perfect time to start is when you have a small amount, because when bigger amounts come, you'll already know what to do with them. So this is the first lie. The second lie is that investing is too risky and you'll lose everything. This is probably the most common fear. People do think that investing overall is gambling or that the stock market is some kind of scam designed to take their money. But let me ask you this. How many people do you know who have lost everything in a well-diversified long-term portfolio? Not trading, not crypto speculations, but actually investing on a long term. Because I've had so many conversations with people who were convinced investing was dangerous. I've even had people straight up tell me it's a scam. But do you know what happens when we finally try it? I've helped many people start with small amounts, just be like 50 euros, 100 euros a month. And once they see their money working from them, like the first initial returns coming back to their accounts, even if it's like a euro or something, something in the mindset shifts. They start looking at investing in a completely different way. Now, the biggest risk isn't putting your money in a diversified portfolio. The real risk is not investing at all, because inflation is constantly eating away at your savings. Your money sitting in a bank is losing value every single day. But when you invest in assets that grow over time, you give yourself a chance to outpace inflation and actually build wealth. Now, at the same time, I never doubted that investing worked, but I was always looking for people who had already done it. And that's the reason why I share my portfolio openly, to give others the example that I was looking for when I started. Now, let's talk about the most dangerous lie, the one that keeps people trapped in financial limbo for years. The idea that you should wait for the right time to invest. People love to believe they can outsmart the market, that if they just wait a little longer, they'll be able to buy at the perfect moment. But here's the reality, nobody knows when the perfect moment is. And regular people who sit around waiting for a crash, they almost always miss the opportunity completely. I have a personal example on this. Back in 2018, I had a client who pulled out of his investments, convinced a major crash was coming. He told me he was waiting for the crisis to hit so he could get in at a lower price. When 2020 happened, pandemic, I called him and asked if he had caught the bottom. His response, it's only the start. Things will drop even further. By 2024, I tried to reach out again. And do you know what he said? He told me to stop calling because he's still waiting for the right moment. Meanwhile, the market has doubled since 2020, climbed even higher since 2018. If he had stuck with dollar cost averaging, investing small, consistent amount over time, he'd be sitting on massive gains. Instead, he's on the sidelines watching everything grow without him. This is why trying to time the market is a losing strategy. The best investors understand that time in the market beats timing the market. If you take anything from this video, let it be this. The perfect time to invest doesn't exist, but every day you wait is a day you could have had your money working for you. Now, if this video made you rethink any of these myths, here's what you should do next. First, subscribe to the channel because I break down investing in a way that's actually useful. Second, if you want to see what I'm investing in, I share my real portfolios. Check out the latest updates in the description. And finally, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I respond to all of them and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Because at the end of the day, the biggest lie isn't about investing itself. It's believing that it's not for you. And I promise you, it is. You just have to start.